You cannot come in here and tell me about like, not see this, not see that, when you're palling around with these people and trying to fuck them.
What if I... Wait, what the... Whoa, Hasan is digging into the kiwi farms lore now. Damn. Bro, just to be clear, okay? Whether or not me and Fuentes actually had sex is none of his fucking business. That is disgusting.
And also eating...
That he would just instantly think that he could just make those accusations publicly? What the...
See this, not see that, when you're palling around with these people and trying to fuck them, and also eating chicken and waffles with them. Get the fuck out of here. These people have made documentaries about their white values. Okay? Come on, dog. Get the fuck out of here.
Why? Let's say that's true. Let's say all of that's true and more. I am a Nazi, Hasan. Then what? Welcome to the party? You're right. I am a Nazi. I just don't like you sourcing Nazi shit because you say you're not a Nazi. If you want to be a Nazi with me, well, then just own it. Let's be Nazis together, my brother. My brother in Christ, my Turkish immigrant friend, my Cuban blood. Let's go, dude. Erdogan and Batista supporters unite. Wait, who was Erdogan again? I think he was the president of Palestine? Or was that Assad?
It's so funny when people are just like palling around with these fucking dipshits. But then, again, the argument is white guys that love defending the usage of the N-word turning around and saying, oh, you know what?
What? Why? I feel like he's like, it's like every hate thread ever. Like Hasan has a running hate thread of me in his joke. He's like, oh, Destiny's criticizing me because I said derivatives aren't real because I don't believe in math. Okay, well, did you know that the only reason Destiny was ever even kind of good at StarCraft is because he abused investors and nobody else was abusing him at the time. And as soon as Blizzard patched it, he was a washed up StarCraft 2 player. Like, oh, Destiny's going to be critical about my history in the Middle East? Okay, well, let's look at his match history in League of Legends. When was the last time this guy was diamond? Like, it's like he's got like a running hate thread of every random fucking thing about me. Like, let's say I am a prolific N-word defender. What does that have to do with any of this? What the?
The argument is, white guy.
He's like, every time he speaks about me, it's like manifesto, like edition version, like 1.78.
That love defending the usage of the N-word, turning around and saying, oh, you know what's really racist, actually? The term worm, dude. That's actually what's racist. It's like, okay, well, every single member of your community calls me a fucking cockroach or a Turk roach.
Do all of us do that? That's pretty rare. I'm pretty sure that, and when you do see it, I'm pretty sure people get banned or in trouble for it. Because I think roach is a racial slur for Turkish people. I think it is.
Every goddamn day. In between the death threats that I get from dudes you align with, how is that?
Death threats from dudes you align with. So now I'm responsible, not only for my whole audience. Hold on. How richy rich is this? I'm not only responsible for my audience, I'm responsible for Nick Fuentes' audience. Meanwhile, Hasan's not even responsible for his own audience shitting on his co-host for a show that had to end because he couldn't rein in the fucking hatred that he was inspiring. What, like, seriously? What the fuck?
How is that appropriate? Like, who's fucking actually racist here? Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit because, like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, Turk Roach. It's really funny. All you've done is shown me that you're a fucking 4chan loser who's like 40 years old and desperately clinging.
Wait, where did the point? Is that Aiden Ross's insult? Does Hasan actually watch every hater on the internet? He's like the Captain Planet of my haters right now. What other insults can he draw from? Wait, how old is Hasan Piker? Wait, why, bro? I'm 3 years older than you. Wait, not even. I'm like 2.5 years older than you. Why are you making fun of my age? What the fuck? He must just be aware of like, well, if I'm, and I shouldn't be, if I ultra hardcore steelman charitable good faith, what's going on here? It might just be because he's liked so many tweets that shit on me from like accounts that have literally like 5 followers. Maybe his Twitter algorithm is just constantly feeding him a stream of like anti-Destiny hate or whatever. And then he sees like the 40-year-old comments and like that, and maybe that's why. But I mean, that's also kind of funny if he's morphed his social media feeds to be so much about me that like that's what he knows like all the hater lore.
On to the halcyon days of 4chan, like, oh, we memed Donald Trump into the presidency.
Wasn't he making fun of the commenter's age and not yours? Oh, was I? How would he know the commenter's age? Wait, what? Hold on.
How is that appropriate? Like, who's actually racist here? Get out of here. I don't give a shit because, like, who gives a yeah, Turk Roach. Really funny. All you've done is shown me that you're a fucking 4chan loser who's like 40 years old and desperately clinging on to the halcyon days of 4chan. Like, oh, we memed Donald Trump into the president.
I thought he was talking about me / my community here. You think he's just talking about a random commenter in chat? I feel like he's talking about, maybe not.
Presidency, we can do it again. That's all that shows me when you use Turk Roach or Cockroach.
If you were at any IRL event with him, do you think he would act like Vasha, the DC meetup in real life, or stand by his words and publicly call you out? No, Hasan does like when Hasan doesn't like people, he does the little bro thing. Because I've talked to friends that have seen him in real life. He'll just be like, oh, he just like kind of like looks up and like doesn't really acknowledge them, and doesn't talk to them, and just like moves on. That's what it. Yeah.
Christ. So funny that this community can still whip up enough support from dumbass liberals who go, oh, that's right, maybe Hasan is racist. Maybe Hasan is actually you know, an anti-white racist. I'm white, man. I'm white. The fuck do you mean anti-white racist? Dumb fucks. Yeah, the largest post on X was a cockroach being electrocuted. The last post about me on Twitter is a cockroach being electrocuted. But it's funny because anyone that...
Wow, did that post really hurt his feeling? Was that post like really hurting his feeling? I wonder how he thinks Ethan and Hila felt when Hila was literally getting cartoons of her murdering Palestinian children. Wow.
Knows, but it's funny because anyone that knows those memes is literally the biggest, most ginormous loser of all time. So it's just, that part is really awesome, I think. Go ahead, keep doing it. Yeah, I heard that slur isn't even used outside of US, right? It's a very specific 4chan slur. Yeah, exactly. It's not, it's funny more than it is.
Wait, what slur? I heard that slur isn't even used outside of the US, right? It's a very, is he talking about Turk Roach? What slur is he talking about?
Is a real slur because it's only used by like the stupidest
Roach?
People of all time.
As opposed to Gusano, which is like the enlightened man's, the thinking man's slur. Like, we're just calling you a race traitor. Nothing racist about that. Which is funny because like I'll like the ultra super ironic thing is that I would actually, if there was like an Uncle Ruben, that's my uncle's name. I don't know any other Cuban names. If there was like a or Uncle Tom version of Cuban for the United States, I would wear that proudly. You know why? Because in the United States, Cubans do tend to be conservative and they do tend to vote for Trump. They're the only Hispanic demographic that does, and I would on them, and I would proudly be a fucking Cuban race traitor if there was a word for that. But the funny thing is that they'll call me a Gusano, which implies I was like, or my family, I guess, was pro-Batista, anti-Castro, anti-leftist, pro-fascist. But when you come to the United States where I actually live, I actually have political disagreements with the majority of Cubans here. It doesn't make sense on like 3 different levels. Ugh. Okay.